As we live in a small country village, the local walks we have are all along quiet lanes with wide verges, and there are usually interesting smells to be investigated along the way. I love sniffing some of the richer smells and will spend ages with my nose either in the air or deep in the hedges and grassy verges breathing it all in. Sometimes it does look as if you're just daydreaming, as you stand staring at nothing in particular. Having said that, maybe we should all do the same sometimes, as it is quite calming to clear your mind and not watch, but just look for a few minutes. It all ties in with the doggy mindset of living for the moment. If there is something interesting to sniff or to watch, I'll do that and forget about everything else, which is why I seem to be ignoring you when you're calling to me to get out of the road. That smell is much more interesting than the van that is rolling down the road towards us. When I moved in, you spent a few nights lying on the floor next to me at bedtime, as I found it strange being in a new home and couldn't settle, and I really liked that. Now you let me lie on the sofa next to you, and I know it's safe to sleep. We've not argued about this, as you seem to enjoy the close company of one end of me or the other. Sometimes I spread out to occupy almost all the space, and you don't ask me to budge up. You have little option but to squeeze in between the sofa's arm and my nose or my backside. I've got a couple of blankets on the sofa, and I'm very content to lie there all night, knowing that you are safely tucked up in your bed in the other room. We both know that it's right to have our own spaces, and we don't interrupt each other at that time. And you snore. Why you don't use the comfy dog bed I bought for you that is curled up lurcher sized, I don't know, but now I use it to store your outdoor cold weather coats. I will often move across to your spot on the sofa when you get up, as it's nice and warm. When you come back, you don't tell me to move back to my spot, so we swap places quite often, with me usually on the warmer end. If you are already on the sofa and I've just walked back into the lounge, I stand and look at you with my pleading brown eyes and floppy ears, and sometimes you'll take the hint. And sometimes I won't. I don't really like walking around town streets, as I find the number of people rather unsettling, and they don't always respond to me when I go and say hello, the miserable lot. You do calm me down when walking there, but I still prefer country lanes and open spaces with fewer humans and dogs to interact with, and those people I do meet are almost always happy to talk to me. A human on a lead means that I feel safe, but it does mean that I can't just wander into shops that smell interesting. I don't much like walking around town streets either, as the number of people who just stop in narrow alleyways and shop doorways for no apparent reason, seemingly unaware that somebody else might want to walk there too, annoys me. Having you with me means that I'm more able to accept the fact that people can be inconsistent and inconsiderate. Most times, however, people are lovely, and talking to them is uplifting. A dog on a lead is often a great aid to talking, as I'm naturally reticent and antisocial, and used to find it difficult to initiate a conversation, but I seem to be getting better at it now, with you as the focus of attention. One of the good things about being me is that I can't imagine tomorrow. The interesting things are happening now. The new smells on the verge, the nice neighbours who want to talk to me, the wood pigeon sitting on the grass waiting to be barked at. Unfortunately, I can imagine tomorrow. The car's insurance is due, trailing round the supermarket to find the things I need, when the builder is going to start. However, I'm now getting the idea that living for the moment is a good way of looking at things, and it can be applied to human life as well. Let's give it a go. Once I'm comfortable on the sofa, initially curled up with nose under my front leg, tail wrapped around my rump, I often like to stretch out and shuffle along so my nose is pressed onto your leg, which usually means you start to stroke me gently, which relaxes me even more, so I can doze off and start dreaming. I can doze off on the sofa at any time, and I find it equally as relaxing to stroke you. I don't, however, press my nose against your leg. You've now overcome your fear of car journeys, which you learnt soon after you came to me, as it meant a trip to the vet. After a bit of assertive coaxing, you're now quite happy to jump up onto the rear seat, curl up and go to sleep. You will also now get into the camper van and lie down behind the driver's seat on your duvet. Sometimes we don't go anywhere for a walk, but it's nice to be in a warm car and the motion and noise is calming. The camper van is a bit noisier, but I'm getting used to that. And it often seems to mean we won't be going home to the comfy sofa, so I still need to accept that we may be sleeping in the van. The upside of that is that I will be sleeping right next to you, so the opportunity is there to snuggle up to you even more.